channel is Manos, the YouTube channel dedicated to all cancer survivors from around the world. Today we are going to talk with Tameeka. She is a cancer survivor from Australia that is going to tell us a little bit about her. Hi Tameeka.
Hello everyone, I'm Tameeka, an Arabana woman from Adelaide, South Australia.
And tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? What is your favorite food? What are you passionate about right now?
Favorite food? It's not a healthy choice. It's a dessert. I try not to eat it all the time. I only try to treat myself with it. But my favorite food is I don't know the proper name for it, but it's called the Russian honey cake. It's so delicious. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, passionate. I think that's pretty straightforward for me at the moment. Right now, my deep interests are within youth, adolescent cancer research, not just within Australia, but worldwide as well, and how it affects other different cultures and how other countries and places actually, support their youth, adolescents in diagnosis or the families. I know specifically here in Australia, we have orgs that reach out to those who are diagnosed or are impacted by cancer. So it would be really cool to go out and see, what other places are around the world that do that as well.
So talking about that, how was to have cancer in Australia? How was your experience?
It, it felt fast because the symptoms that I had, they were very, very strange. So I had a lot of bruising, I had a lot of bleeding of the gums. And then when I was officially diagnosed, it was like, boom, 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 like you need to go to this place, you need to have this blood test, you need to have this treatment, we need to test you for this. So it was very fortunate to have like the health system here be straight onto it and sort of like, get that treatment done straight away. But I'm also very conscious of that, there's other places that may not be so lucky in a sense of that. So I feel like we're very lucky here in Australia to have a health system that's right onto it and that can support the patient or a young person who has been impacted by a cancer diagnosis.
And how was like the culture around it? Like, how is the Australian culture regarding cancer? There is still a lot of stigma, or is more normal? Like, how do you find that?
It's still a little taboo because it's not often spoken about. It's very much there, but it's not often spoke about. I would say that's because there is a high health complexity also around diabetes as well. So sometimes that can overthrow the big C with what some people face. So I think it's something that needs to be talked about a little bit more.
And probably I know this answer, but do you know many cancer survivors? And how do you describe them in one word?
A lot. I've met a lot through not just through the Congress conference, but just like through my professional background in like working through various spaces as well. I think the best way to describe them is like a light. They face that shadow and they're like the light that comes through it.
Did you have any side effects that actually you like about having cancer or about the treatments?
It's gonna sound a little bit weird, but as much as I love my hair, but when I lost my hair, I didn't like it, but then I reflected on it and I realized I actually did like it because it gave me a new perspective on how others would feel, but also to embrace it as well, not to feel ashamed by it. So I'd have to say that's the one side effect that I did like afterwards. Um, the loss of appetite, that was annoying, but that always happens. The real one where I learned the most and actually embraced it was the of losing my hair.
Like, oh, this is a part, but I think that many people that they never had cancer think that that is the most awful thing because I don't know, the
Yeah.
movies or things like that. So I remember that when I was diagnosed, the first thing that people gave me was a wig. And I was like, thank you, but like for me, this is not like the most important thing. Like I was more
Yeah,
focused on medicines, different medicines to
yeah,
feel better than a wig.
yeah. Same, like because I was offered one as well. I said yes just for the fact of like if I wanted to use it, I'll have it. But then I realized I just never used it because I was like, oh, I need to embrace this. Like, this is something that this is something shadowy that you face. Like, be the light that comes through it, and like, you know, show that it doesn't have to be as scary and dreadful as what sometimes movies and TV shows make it to be. Like, show that, you know.
It's like, what is the weirdest thing that somebody have told you about having cancer, or the most funny thing?
Probably it was more like a statement. They're like, "Who would have thought you would have had it?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah." They're like, "You're just like the most random person to like have got it," and I'm like, I thought about it and I was like, actually, yeah, that's really weird. But then I saw it from their perspective, and then I saw it from a perspective of like, you know, it doesn't have like a particular person that it gets; it just gets anyone. So that's probably the weirdest thing. Like, a lot of my friends and other family members, they're quite conscious of what I've been through, so they're not too sure what to say sometimes. Which I tell them it's fine. Like, I can see the humor side of things, and you know, like you can't always be sad about it. Like sometimes it's better to make it a bit humorous to sort of, you know, help people understand a little bit better as well.
Do you normally joke about having cancer? I know that is a serious topic, and for some people it's sensitive, but sometimes that can make you, I don't know, like soften the, I don't know, the scenario.
I use it for like examples of like perspectives, because I know when I've been asked like, oh, why do you view things like this? And I would say, well, it's because this is what I've had, this is what I went through. I was close to losing my life from it. So I see life a little bit more different now to how I would before. So those are the instances where I've probably used the C card as an example of things, but I've never really joked about it.
What would you like to see in your country that is going to support better cancer survivors or cancer patients?
I would like to see more support for the rural, regional areas who don't have much access to the healthcare system, as it's very hard to sort of even just get basic GP needs, etc. That's a major thing that I think the country needs to work on. A lot of people have said it, and I think that's something I'd like to drive forward with cancer research, just not here in Australia as well, but there's also a lot of regional rural places across the world. And I think, you know, we need to set an example by saying, you know what, they need just as much care as those who live in urban areas as well.
And can I ask you, like, what do you do in Canteen? Like, what is your daily day?
So I'm the National Reconciliation Coordinator, so I will be supporting Canteen and leading the RAP plans that we will be undertaking. We've just completed our Innovate RAP. So for those who don't know, RAPs are a reconciliation action plan that organisations will apply to do to reconcile with Australia's First Nations people. So that may include from like having dedicated rooms in their organisations, or having specific identified roles where they will meet and connect with Aboriginal community controlled organisations or health organisations, just so that it's all equal. So it's not just Canteen, but like any other orgs, like dedication and, you know, commitment to reconciliation for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here in Australia.
So this is not related to cancer, but which word describe you that doesn't have anything to do with cancer? This means that you were like this before having cancer, and do you feel the same?
Observant. My specific friend Joni, she always says, "You're just observant," and it's because I like to um learn from a lot of things. So I'll just like observe and see how things work. I feel like I paid a lot more attention to that specific word after I was diagnosed, because when I was receiving treatments, I would observe everyone else who was getting it as well, and seeing how they were feeling and how they were affected, and made me more conscious of like how I was as well. So I feel like I just built more upon that after that. So I was like that before, maybe just a little bit more naive about it, but now I feel like I have purpose with it.
Super nice. So thank you, Tameeka, for the interview.
I had so much fun.
Did you like this video? Well, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with others. And thank you for watching. Bye.